This is the cat. This is the cat who has been up on my work surface in the kitchen and been sick. Not once, but twice. I'm not happy. This is the sheep who actually should have had her coat taken off yesterday, but escaped from the sheep pen and was chased around the garden by the three of us, and she won. So I've got to try and trap her again tonight, because Ludo's coming back tonight. And it's going to be 30 today, so it's going to be so hot. Last night, after we'd finished, after he'd gone and just said, I'll come back tomorrow, she was absolutely exhausted and frightened and hot. It's such a shame. She really needs to have shorn, but he was moaning. He said that she's sauvage. The sheep that he's used to dealing with are white sheep and easier to manage. I think Westons are sauvage. They're a very rugged breed, brought up to live in quite rugged conditions, and yes. This is Mrs. Breedy, who attacked me, or attempted to attack me yesterday when I picked up one of her babies. I wanted to have a look. There's a thing that you can do called wing sexing, where you can look at the feathers coming in, the flight feathers coming in, and depending on the shape of them along the bottom edge, can determine whether they're male or female. I did manage to pick up a chick, but all the while having to beat off or hold my welly boot out and let that be attacked. So she was very, very protective. So I won't be doing that again. I don't know how we're going to move them when the moving time comes, because she is incredibly protective. I don't think I've met a broody quite as protective as that. So the one I picked up had a straight edge to the wings, and I think that means it's possibly female. But it was squawking a lot. It did settle down, but I was also trying to keep her off. So I'm not going to tip food out of that feeder. I'm hoping that they'll find the food in the feeder, because that's the plan, rather than me tipping it down every time. Yeah, look, there's a chick feeding in there now. Excellent. I'll top up the feeder. Oh, so cute. Somebody asked me about can you tell the difference between fertile eggs and non-fertile eggs, and are they different for eating or hatching? Well, they're not here anyway. I think supermarket eggs are unfertilized, because the hens, the battery eggs, eggs that are coming in prolific amounts. The hens obviously haven't been with the cockerel. They've not even been out onto a solid floor like this. They've been standing in a cage, so they're not fertile. Free range eggs quite possibly could be, if the eggs that the hens have been running with a cockerel. And I think in the US the eggs are pasteurised, so if they were fertile they won't be after pasteurisation. But for us here, poultry keepers, the eggs that I take indoors that we eat are the eggs that come from the hens that are running with the cockerel, and are the eggs that I can put under a hen or she can sit on. So there's no distinction there. That's the way it is, and I think people are quite squeamish about that. But You know, it's real, for fuck's sake. It's real food. And I think people get really squeamish about what we eat. You know, people have been eating eggs for years and years. Birds' eggs and, you know. And these are just birds' eggs, but slightly larger than a blackbird or a blue tit or a robin or a... But, you know, had you been a cave dweller and you were wandering through the forest and you came across a bird's nest and you were hungry, then eggs would have been a delicacy. So, yeah, so I won't be doing wing sexing, sadly. I would have liked to have, well, I would have liked to have known who's who, but I can't remember which way round it is now. You know, the one set of wings is sort of more of a jagged, you know, not so organised, and one set of wings is straight, but I can't remember which way round it is, so we'll just have to wait and see. I'm going to go somewhere else now because they're going under there to keep warm, and I'm going to top up the food first. Another thing about another piece of chicken information is chicks hatched before June, so in the first 6 months of the year, the hens, if you're lucky, will come in to lay over winter. So they'll start laying eggs over winter. And chicks hatched after June, in the last, you know, the second half of the year, are less likely to reach that point before winter. And most hens, especially purebred hens, will stop laying between November. We work on November the 5th, and between November the 5th and February the 14th is a way to remember it. I mean, it's not that exact, but it's just ways to remember how long the gap is. It's what is that, just over 2 months. It's not that long, really. And so the chicks, if they're hens, the chicks will start laying, hopefully, although being purebred, purebreeds are often later to come into lay, so they'll start laying potentially from about 28 weeks, whereas the sort of the breed that the expats are, you know, the commercial farmyard hen, will possibly start laying between 22 and 24 weeks, so it's longer for purebred hens. So when we had a larger flock than we have now, I say that, I mean, the flock was larger not that long ago, we would replenish each year with a new sort of 2 or 3 hens, so that there was a constant supply of eggs. I hate it when our egg supply drops, even though I don't hate it, but I get frustrated when I have a lot of eggs and I don't know what to do with them. But I really don't like not having eggs, because I don't like buying them. They never ever are up to the standard that we get from our hens in the garden, or, you know, in the hen coop as it is at the moment. So yeah, your vlog this morning was meant to be a vlog of a sheep being sheared. I can see her looking at me through the fence. And I'm hoping that your vlog tomorrow morning will be of a sheep being sheared. I really do need to work out how I'm going to catch her, how I'm going to entice her. I'm going to try and entice her into the chicken coop with some corn, and then shut her in there, and it's a smaller space for Ludo to be able to catch her. But it's going to be much hotter this evening, so I don't really want anybody to be chasing around the garden. So have a lovely Tuesday.